For me personally, I remember it just like it was yesterday. I don't know who she contacted, but she must have contacted somebody. So a big limousine, one of those big limousines that you see, came out to my mother's house. My mother packed a bag for me with clothes and stuff, and she didn't tell me where I was going. She just says that I was going somewhere. I thought, oh great, she says there's a big car coming to pick us up. And I thought, but why are you coming then? If it's just for me, She went, no, I'm coming with you, she says, because I've got to, see that you're all right, I thought, okay. And then we ended up driving through Kirkintilloch, through Lennox town, until we reached Lennox Castle.
Well, when I was 14 and a half, I got put in there because I didn't go to school. I spent nearly all my life in that place. But the bad times were the beginning. I was only a wee boy when I went there, after the Queen's coronation. And I went through hell. And as years went on, it became a hospital. But at the beginning, it was not. It was a boot camp. Sergeant Major was never in it. Yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full. You had to answer yes, no. Even it was hard for the staff, They weren't allowed to talk to their wives or their husbands. You'd be on one side and they'd be another.
Well, first of all, I went up to the top side with the doctor. That's what it was. Went up there first to see the doctor. After that, then my mother just signed my life away for some reason, I don't know why. And after that, she went out back into the car. The car took my mother back home. She left my bag with my clothes on the floor.
I came into Lennox Castle when I was about last 15, right up to I was about 49. Then I came out of Lennox Castle when I was 49.
That was
then I got my party in the Gobadas when I was 50.
The first ward I was in was Ward P, and I was there quite a while. But for some reason, what they had was, let's say, on the windows to stop patients, because that's what we were called. It was to stop the patients jumping out of the windows. So what they had on the windows on the outside was bars on the windows.
Do you know what you used to get in one of your breakfasts when we were juveniles? You got one slice of bread, one mug of tea, a plate of porridge, a bowl of porridge, that was your breakfast. But you just stand up in the corridor and answer to your name and number. And you said the wrong number, the whole bunch of us go outside their stocking feet and run around that building for an hour. And we came back in, the guy there called Tommy Brown, a ball, you hear that guy? He would hit you when he hit with a bat or something.
Remember we used to have the big bottle of Gart of syrup and big hundreds.
They were really
used to fill them up with big bottles like that. Aye. You see, they used to put them on a spoon like that.
And
then you put them, you say, open your mouth like that. Do that, get it in your mouth.
And I've done them when they're done, it was jagged, they were about 2 borders sitting,
you used to say, put your leg up like that, your leg up like that, your knee up like that.
Sitting,
put your leg up like that.
4 nurses sat and told me they were all massive sizes.
John was in Lennox Castle, weren't you, John? In the 1960s onwards. And what I found at that time is, looking back, my mother, we had great difficulty with John because John had to be, he still has to be watched 24/7. So what we had to do, my mother, and I remember her crying the day she put him in there. I think it was just some place to put people. There was nowhere else to put anybody. So all of a sudden my brother disappeared. Where's Johnny? My mother had to tell us that he was in Lennox Castle. And then the tragedy was that Johnny lost, we all lost one mother. Very young age, big family, very young age. A tragedy with my mother. Her dress caught fire, and you know, in the house, and Alan, my other brother, was a wee baby. So that was even worse there after my mother died, because then the family had to look after John. And the other day we were there looking at Lennox Castle with John was there and the crowd of staff. It was very good that day because you could look back and John, although John's in the condition, he knew where he was. I said, Lennox Castle, didn't you, John? Right away he's pointing to the hills. That's the thing about Lennox Castle. To me as a man, and I like looking at beautiful things and scenery. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world for scenery on a beautiful day. You couldn't get anything beautiful. And this place was right in the heart of it. But there was one day, I remember, and I'll never forget this day. I went back that day and lo and behold, I just walked in and where they sat there was tables. This is a dining hall. And they were lined up in a row against the wall, spaced out with benches. And the guy was giving out the tea. And he was actually throwing these pies up the table and throwing bread out as if it's the birds. And I went, oh, what are you doing? He said, oh. Anyway, it just astounded me, you know. So, but you complain, but like talking to the wall, because there's nobody there like they are now. You can put in a complaint, somebody will look after it. But anyway, you were happy to see us, John, weren't you? Just to get back. This is the thing we're talking about, this man here. But Lennox Castle, you didn't like Lennox Castle, John? No. Did you like it, John? No. But down that sheet of paper, and it was blank, and then he started to do these things. And that's all coming from his mind. I've asked him why he get that. To me, he does a drawing of, so you do the drawing of, what is that you do, the face, John? Where did you see that, on the television? I think that's where he's seen it. Watching the telly, it's a face, it's like one of these puppets. He loves that. But you do lovely circles. You like drawing circles, don't you, John? Don't you? He just loves it. And once you see it, the colours and colours. And what I find about my brother, he's got very, very good patience. He just carries on. Carries on. Tell the lady how many watches you've got, John. 20 odd watches he's got. And I stopped buying them because I went in and I said, show me your watches. He brought them out. He's got a case with 4 in it. He says, no, I'm not finished. Brought out this bag, watches. And there's a different one on every week. He loves watches, don't you?
I was confused because at the time I didn't know I was voluntary. I didn't even know what voluntary meant. So me and a friend at the first, and his girlfriend, we had girlfriends in the castle, and well, we ran away through the forest, up through the castle, through the forestry. We ended up in Glasgow, so we did.
You used to run away, you know, you used to leave your bundle at night. You used to take your bundle, all your clothes, tie it in a knot and put in a cupboard, the whole lot is. And they checked all the beds to see you were in your bed, right? And we walked the next morning, and the next morning you take up and get your clothes out the cupboard. That's to stop you from running away. But you know what a lot of the guys used to do? They used to get the sheets of the bed and tie them into knots and run away in their night shirts. I know a guy that ran away and did 13, he cleared that, completely cleared that.